Hi, this is Thomas from thomasjungauthor.com, and today I'm recording a new video note. And in the videos I put up online before, and in my texts, in my essay collection, Deconstructing Pride, I am talking a lot about why I reject the gay identity and why I've always rejected that identity. And today I want to talk a little bit about what I think that gay identity is about and where that belief system around it, where that actually comes from, and how that that belief system has evolved, and whether that evolvement was a good thing, or whether it leads to things that are not so good, led to really bad developments. And I'm going to describe these developments, and I'm also going to say why I therefore rejected that identity even more. So now, the other day I saw a video about the Stonewall Inn, and that is this gay bar that set off the gay liberation, I think, at the end of the 60s. Well, that's what we are supposed to believe. And there were some gay people visiting it, like some, as a monument. And they said, "Did you know that that the Stonewall Inn was run by the mafia?" Yeah, who would have thought? I mean, the stupidity of some of these people, of a lot of these people who believe so much in the gay identity is breathtaking. I mean, where do these people think that world, that identity, that culture comes from? It comes, of course, from the world of, around hustling, prostitution, and organized crime. That's where it stems from. And that's also why it is interesting to a lot of people. And I think partly because of that gay liberation, what has happened is that a lot of ideas about sex, about the hypocrisy around sex, the hypocrisy of society, that have come out of this world have sort of been mixed up with liberal values about social mobility, self-help, but also things like success, and more importantly, the liberal idea that people are inherently good. If only you give them, enough freedom, enough liberty, they will use that for the good. And that belief system, got mixed up with, the belief system that would make a lot of sense in the world of organized crime, which provided, a lot of sexual services to the rest of society. So I think that is what happened. And you can see that also a lot on social media, but also when I look around and I see a lot of gay people. A lot of gay people have this sort of alternative sexual morality and stuff like that. Live a hedonistic life, live a sexually promiscuous life, and at the same time, they pride themselves on the fact that they own a home, that they own an expensive apartment, that they own a car, that they flaunt their success. So you can see it everywhere. They are really proud of that. And I remember me and my friends, when we were young, we would look down on people like that. I mean, we were like, excuse me, that is not what being gay is supposed to be about. Not even for people who come out of that world, which we didn't. So, yeah. But you see, I've experienced, and a lot of my friends have experienced, how vicious these things can turn towards people, how malicious. There's a certain maliciousness in that world that just doesn't disappear and becomes part of the wider culture, not only of gay, but it is you can see it a lot in gay culture. For example, there is this type of person who usually, who sort of, acquires, a certain amount of success, and says, "Oh, look at me, where I come from, and what I have achieved and look at me now and what I've become. You know, but if you scratch behind the surface, you'll see a lot of ugliness. Because you see, the gay world offers these people something else, because their success is never enough, and their money or wealth or whatever. No, because, you know, the gay world still offers them a certain sexuality, but sometimes even more. And I've seen this especially with people like in sort of higher places of society. So they go into that world, and, you know, you may have been a fat boy who was bullied at school, or you may have been a sissy boy, but now here in this world you can be, you know, you can surround yourself with all these prostitutes. You can be a tough guy, you know, you can feel like a little pimp even. And, you know, we all know those types. And you know, and I myself, I mean, I have fallen victim to people like that. I mean, these people have made my life a living hell for the past 15 years. And I always wondered why. Why is that? Why? What did I do to these people? Did I insult them? Did I steal anything from them? What did I do to these people? Because I always wondered. You know, they did this for. Did they do this for no reason? No. What is the reason? Why have I fallen victim to a lot of harassment, intimidation, gang stalking, a really vicious form of gang stalking? Why is that? And I've also seen it with friends. I mean, some of my friends, I mean, didn't survive it. They're now dead. And I was saying, why is that? Why did they hate it so much? You know, it is something. I think it is something we represent to them, because they know what they are doing is really bad. Not only bad, but depraved and evil. So they want to get everybody out of their way to do so. And yeah, and that's what happened, you know, basically to me and to many other people. Because, you know, when I see all these horrible people at those gay pride events, I mean, do these people really know that they're celebrating when they are? Because, you know, these people are excused or protected by the rainbow flag. You see, I mean, their behavior, because, you know, homosexuals are victims in the society. You know, in my essay, Homosexuals Are Gay, I talk about how central victimhood is to that gay identity. It is the foundation of that identity. But the problem with victimhood is always the same. You know, the people who indulge in victimhood is basically justification for their own bad behavior. So whenever you see a rainbow flag, whenever it's a pride parade, whenever, you know, the gay culture is being celebrated, I think you should think about that, because, you know, it is a world, you know, that can turn really, really dark. That was it for today. Thank you.